right. Enra Asante Kotoko players Mako miensa ena omudin epiemu the shortlisted players for the Man of the Match award Babara Sports Stadium. Na me berani through the process. Na me wiesua na the player ratings, a proper analysis on individual players and how they performed on the field of play. No, yet Nina Brandra Kumasi Asante Kotoko Aduana by 1-0 goal from Kalo-8 assist a Richmond Lamptey. Nurudeen eventually or Man of the Match, no. But we are going to do the analysis for you to get a better understanding of the course of Babara Sports Stadium. This is Obed TV, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I say almost you trust subscribe, Bosumame. Now drop your comment on also your ratings of the players, how you see them. Do you agree with the panel? I vote to Nurudeen as the Man of the Match, and I said you felt another player deserve it. Nina with me drop it under the comments, and we'll do justice in the evening. A bright Sunday, another episode of Silver TV at the April. Now let's go straight to action. Now the three shortlisted players for Asante Kotoko Man of the Match was Nurudeen, Kalo-8 and Richmond Lamptey. These were the three players they were shortlisted for the Man of the Match. From the part of Aduana, Wamu Goalkeeper, Yawansa, Esudin APA table, no subi. At the end of the day, Nurudeen had the most votes from the panel members, and he was voted the Man of the Match. Now, moving straight to discussions, and now Kumasi Asante Kotoko starting game, the coach Efeni Ogum, with Danlad of Destiny Japan, and Abenini Befrimo, ama a branch Efeni Nicholas or say Bonsu Ababeshimo. And Yanope, Nurudeen Yusuf, Wema, on a branch Efeni Henry Ansu born 90 minutes. Our game, Lamptey in the middle with Sharif Mohammed and Andrew Sintimian, so about 90 minutes in the game. George Infege, after the first half, epic an injury, in Infege and Timian to a game, no so, into George Infege, sube free game, no. Ama Enoch Morrison, I been right after the first half, in Tim Morrison, sube ball, 45 minutes. Nicholas Osebonsu, American Obeyin and Abenini, and the 78th minute. And also in the 78 minutes now, Richmond Opokubeyi Peter Aqua, general coach left back, we in the number 7, now is this left winger and this right winger. And it's Okubiye 3 substitutions and a Kalo-8 about 90 minutes. So Justice Blair and the other players were not used in the match. Now going to the ratings of the players, Danlad Ibrahim had 7 yesterday's game based on the ratings. The system led by Obed TV naming now for 4 and people that I trust, knowledgeable people in the game. We decided to give Danlad Ibrahim 7 out of the ratings. And then Amedema was Obed TV. He kept a clean sheet and made one crucial save. That was a header from Richard Tete. Free header and a Richard Tete premier. And a Danlad Ibrahim make his save. Yesterday's game, most of the things are not Danlad there, being an option for the back to pass. It say Kotoko want to pass the ball, no one said Debbie. Actually, it looks like passing lanes now been blocked out. Not Danlad almost all the time open up our the proper position. MIA ball not the man. So he was mostly a passing options, and his distribution was very, very excellent. So factors Danlad in 7 year distribution. That save now make it against Richard Tete. A free header that helped him keep the clean sheet. Again, passing, his confidence when it comes to the passing, open up and receiving passing, and how he communicated with his defense and organized his defense. These factors Danlad Ibrahim 7/10 in yesterday's game. Back-to-back clean sheet for Danlad. He should keep it up on Twaso. Asante Kotoko in 5 matches, he keep 3 clean sheet. 1 against Pando Heart of Lions, 1 against Accra Lions, and 1 against Aduana Stars. Nti, Oma considered 3 goals in 5 games, and Danlad considered 1 goal in 3 games, and that goal Aduana conceded was against Karela United, and that is positive for Aduana. 2 clean sheets, 1 goal conceded in 3 matches. Yeah, man, 7/10. Our Augustine Japan, 6.5. Sorry, 6.5. Now, Augustine Japan needed so much support from his closest defender, and then Henry Ansu in most of the time. The battle with Emmanuel Jenfi and sometimes Sam Adams, was a bit difficult for Augustine Japan. His contribution up front, was much decent than the Oye against Accra Lions. I'll give him credit for that. The contribution, his ability to search forward. How in the first half of the game, or linking up with George Infege was a bit positive from where I was sitting and watching the game. And also, now for 4 hours stands more, we also there, we sum it up and we do the ratings and we present to you on Obed TV. So yes, moving forward was a bit okay, but not lacking the confidence with crossing. So you could count the number of crosses against Japan because he always wanted to make sure, say, if Kotoko losing possession, it's not coming from him. Then in the second half, he stayed very, very defensive. The only time you who against Japan said all overlapping pie in the second half, was less than 2 occasions. One led to a cross, which eventually Derek Afferson, a clear, which people were even calling for a penalty, but it wasn't a penalty. All in all, he wasn't that wasteful. Japan ain't wasteful, sir, but the confidence neighbor, and this is an improved version of a Japan against a team of Accra Lions. So we give him 6.5. Our ratings. Nana Benjamin, the left back, also at 6.5. He picked up. He was substituted, and no, I say game I say do baby na I say ye film. At the point he was lucky not to go to pick a yellow card because ball now 2-9 editia Isaac Mintano now it was too high. Any referee bet me a yellow card on that occasion. 2-9 or editia not ball was throw no but so the 9 control and 2-9 Isaac Mintano referee be a bet me a yellow card, and at the point he was losing the deals. The 1v1 situations, he was being caught out of position. And quickly, Coach FN Ogum, a call and the free say on my metal chairman Nicholas and for fresh energy, because the time Aduana year substitution, Amuni Zakaria mo, any Gabriel, a Mensa, a mobile, a quest Gabriel, quest Mensa mobile, now a more tormented a year, got players in the pay. So quickly, na coach, a uniform 8 minutes after said Douglas Wusu and Sa Gabriel Mobile, coach said there be that 8 minutes it was getting difficult for a branch friend a year, Nana Benjamin, so he took him out. So he started very, very well. Benjamin started very well, but we game on now or slow down. So we gave him 6.5. Well, Henry Ansu had 7. A quiet game from Ansu. 1v1 battles with Brighter J. How I know follow Brighter J to the midfield zone. No, a Jano, the amount midfielders, no sound drop work on the chi. Not so loud on the field, but what you love about him is he was giving Kotoko much progressive carries, but the ball no push it from the defense, drive a ball to a midfield than Nurudeen. Into share ball now, se Kotoko je ball no wechiro. Na se Aduana phone decide so omo high press na omo decide so be stay wechira. Na Henry Ansu na the ball no push it, press ball no ko enim, pia ball no ko enim, then he will do the delivery. Between Ansu and Yusuf Nurudeen, Ansu is the one or no ball no, started the build up, whether long or short or carrying the ball. Yes, and I'm so yes at the end more it's expected that Obed be no. So there were some no bar need to be located the Kotoko attackers. There were others who are no progressive band where Jama do team no a drop walk the defensive zone. But all in all, the last game of Bob Baba Sports Stadium against Tima, your friend Karela, the mistake yesterday's game was a much better improvement than that match, and you have to give him credit. Henry Ansu at 7 on our table. Yusuf Nurudeen and at 8.5. He was an excellent stopper. in yesterday's game. Excellent stopper. And on the table now, the panel discussed the man of the match. But me got to tell on them who you know. Around the 80th minute, na Kalo and Yusuf Nurudeen and a good table also. Now there was a last minute tackle around the 90th minute, 88th minute, and it was a last man tackle from Yusuf Nurudeen and a coach Bako. As I told about man Nurudeen, a complete team, your man Nurudeen. That tackle was equivalent to a goal because nabo Asante Kotoko players nechi, and sasa tackle when ya is a penalty. Ref be considered a yellow, and most players would not have the confidence to go down and make that tackle. So the decision to go down, make that tackle, get it right, push the ball to corner, and draw the other players to come in and help you defend. You know, it was equivalent to a goal. And you know, anytime they are born about try defense, and especially on the left side, because and Nanabe no calling excellent cover and all the left side of Asante Kotoko with the tackles. Tackles, you know, if we had a proper data machine, can I won't be surprised if it's me a man be 8 successful tackles from Abrante and Yusuf Nurudeen. The goal area but could be against Jemfi. Excellent one. Yes, he picked the yellow card. He picked up a yellow card. That was a tactical yellow card. Mostly during ratings, a player now pick yellow card. Yeah, title ratings also. But on the shape of Nurudeen, what I picked was that why the yellow card did not affect his rating was it was a mistake where Onoye the cover to save. As early as the 47th minute, and Okoye's attack on the yellow card. And that yellow card, no, if one just tackle now, it was all advantage Emmanuel Jemfi, and he was walking straight to a dangerous area. So that yellow card did not affect his rating. But in terms of tackling, presence in the air, someone could be because most often Aduana goalkeeper no, not a pass ball in free. So they are not born on balloon long, or for long. And Yusuf won most of the battles in the air against Ajay, against Minta, and all these things sum up to his ratings and why he had 8.5 on the score sheet. Up next is Andrews in Timenu. He had 7.5. I think yesterday's game was his best game for Kotoko since Andrews in Timenu. He was very comfortable in the middle zone, no matter how crowded and there. Game near Bogian Monso or the idea to in the night kakra. Medics and the idea to in the sre. I don't know whether he was playing through injury, but what I know is that he had an excellent game, much better than the one against Accra Lions. Because Accra Lions, you know, around the 60th minute, na coach Efene Ogum in the film. And you know Ogum, Bobo ni yobe you film do before. But in yesterday's game, 90 men was untouchable. Takes the ball from defense, spread the passes, make the right interceptions. He was very excellent with the second balls. You have to give him credit for the second balls. They be a tie 50-50, no? Or yeah, most of it to save most of those ones. And he had 7.5. Sharif Mohammed also had 7.5 on the ratings. Excellent game from Sharif Mohammed. He played 90 minutes, very, very committed, very, very workaholic. Osaji forward and yeah. Division also there. He was a proper box-to-box midfielder in yesterday's game. Also, was Asante Kotoko front middle trainer. 90 men stays. Now Sharif Mohammed joining attack with Lamptey when Kotoko was forward. Now Sharif Mohammed are rushing back about joining defense when Kotoko is without the ball. So let's give them credit for that excellent game. And Omuputu up on Usuna 7.5. Lamptey also had similar 7.5, and now the midfield triangle of Asante Kotoko being 7.5. Lamptey had an assist. He could have gotten a goal, and I still believe that slip around the 91st minute, Lamptey said he could have done better. The ball was too direct towards goalkeeper Feni Awansa. So if Lamptey have decided to go any direction and Kebe Diama the goalkeeper, he went in for power over direction. A swift decision which he needed to take because the movement was very, very close. Now, and yet this movement to meet me at the ball, not down and a home agree. But in that moment, if he had taken a stand and decided to go for placement, which he's very good at it. So here go now. Last 2 seasons, or the share wafana. Then where be a placement, he went for an angle instead of going for short. So this time Lamptey decided to go for short, which was not the best. But all in all, he played very, very well. Decent cross, Nodema Kalo-8 to get the goal. Decent cross. We talk about that later in the observations where we break down Kotoko's set piece pattern. But he also had 7.5. Peter Aqua had 7. He's justifying why he need to start. Unfortunately, I think in the first half, around the 36th minute, he had a penalty. After watching the game again, I still believe that ball was a penalty. And as Asante Kotoko, because the defender stopped the ball with his hands. Excellent player when it comes to 1v1. The only thing I can experience, but so far he's grabbing the right side of Kotoko's wings. He's grabbing that chance. Confidence neighbor. So you could see how he takes the ball, he takes some players, and an electrifying pace. The pace no here won't say them. But once a ball ne kopa no so dimikana wakwa koduru ball no afa ball no. So he also had 7. My ratings, George Mfege had 6.5. And because I was closer to the field, Mfege prantem kakra. Mfege prantem kakra. Mfege around the 30th minute we were pra. Before the 30th minute we were pra. Because that tackle for Bright Angel, or trying to free actually no. Na ejuma thing. Into the first half or the VA first half. So he started well, but that tackle did not bring the best out of him. And there was an injury in the coach in the substitution in the film. He was substituted. So he had 6.5. Yesterday, in the early stages, if he had kept it composed, I wouldn't have been surprised and commit me a goal. 6.5. Now, Kalo-8 had 8. He could have scored 2 goals because Bob Akona, a mistake from Aduana's defense as early as the 10th minute. Out in the left, ASA or Kelly Bona for goalkeeper. Our goalkeeper once again saved. So you understand why I catch us Aduana players, the PMO man of the match table also was Aduana goalkeeper. Your friend Yawansan, you understand the number of saves he made in yesterday's game. But Kalu complimented that like or cleansing that error, the early error with the header, the one that he had the jump right, he had the power right, he had the direction right. Now maybe your fast solidarity in it was spot on. Now how he decided to pick his position, because one picking the position was the middle zone of the field, or picking the position was the other pole. Because it looks like most the middle zone is crowded than the first and the last pool, and he had the direction right. Away from that, in the second half, under pressure, Asante Kotoko super yellow. I will tell you as a matter of fact, say, Kalu played very, very well as a lone ranger up front. So no point anymore near your ball, never no more crossing. No kweje na or pim to or no to Lamptey or to eto a year bena somehow or to eto a year in Morrison was very good from a branch your friend a year Kalo-8. So he had 8 decent game, his best game so far. I think we're in the first start, the second start for Kotoko starting Obed and go starts well Muso. Coach Ogun starting this game against Karel, and that's Coach Ogun for you. You give him the results, you start. You don't give him the results, you go to the bench. Morrison had a 6.5. He had a slow start. Second half, pitching. I'll talk about the pitch in my observations. The pitch was a bit slippery. It's in a place near the only time Morrison back giving him was that shot, the second ball, no PK, or ball shot the far pool. But that was not bad. He did not disappoint himself, and he supported the fullbacks. Time on Nicholas was able to pretty or wings on or support no near Japan or the other side no so no or support no pay. Don't forget Aduana so you go for the Poku Akifrimu they value more wings no and at that time no na Kotoko winger needed to support their fullback. Richmond Opoku, I don't want to rate him. Nicholas Osebonsu decent appearance now no. That cross now eventually ball no Aduana for 90 men control better Lamptey no. That is what the coach expected from you, and the coach believe in you. Tina na benyini hu so no yi free mu and be shape. Ogum will get a 7.5 on my table. I was a bit scared say this particular match because of Kotoko team mobile match Monday or mobile Friday fatigue beat me set in, but he had everything right. Most of the decisions were spot on. How he commanded the players, how he gave them confidence was okay. Against Accra was -7 ratings, but Nemema Ogum 7.5. He played very, very well. Kotoko pressed well without the ball. Their structure was decent. Just that they still have issues with their finishing, which I'll come and talk about that in the key observation. So this is the player ratings. The best player for Kotoko was Nurudeen, followed by Kalo-8. Then you get Richmond Lamptey, Andrew Sintimenu, Sheriff Mohammed, all having 7.5. Then Wababenya Branche Fen Henry Ansu, now when you Peter Aqua, Somusunya 7.5 Ewoho. Dalad Ibrahim also had 7. Inti Peter Aqua, Henry Ansu, Dalad, Omunya 7 in the player rating. 6.5 was Branche Fen, Enoch Morrison, George Infegi, Nana Benyini, and Augustine Japan. So Obed TV player ratings for Kotoko against Aduana and Amede Abron. Ebesen Shebi Baba.